Okay, talked about this gun the other day. Let's take it to the range. Greetings, YouTube, lock and load ninjas, interwebs at large. Back again, and this is going to look like I've got 2 more videos to make, including, well, this one, next one. But if it seems like I'm doing a staccato / STI barrage, that's because I am. So, I've been trying to find a day to take this to the range. We've had some weather, we've had some other things going on. The other day I was trying to coordinate it, and this happened. And then, you know, that sort of takes my, you know, when you have that kind of a pile up right behind you, just takes your focus off of things. But that's all beside the point. One thing we didn't do, though, is we didn't talk about this gun as far as the tail of the tape. So we need to do that, and I mean right now. Comes with a 3.9-inch bull barrel. The finish is diamond-like carbon black. Ships with 3 16-round magazines. Trigger comes in at 4 pounds with ambi safety levers. Front side is fiber optic. The rear is the Dawson Universal Optic System, which comes with a fixed sight unless you change it out and put an optic on it like I have with the Delta Point Pro 2. The recoil system is a 3.9 Recoil Master Light. The grip is the 2011 G2 Officer Length Black. The frame is a lightweight alloy frame with an accessory rail. The caliber, of course, is in 9mm. The dimensions, lengthwise at 7x5 with a grip width of 1.3 and a height of 5.5. And at the safeties, it's 1.49 inches wide. The weight, without optic, empty, with no magazine, 25.7 ounces. Altogether, quite the upgrade. So that's the dimensions. That's everything about the gun, length, you know, weight, all this other stuff. How does it shoot? Let's go. With the first generation Staccato C, I was very impressed with the shooting characteristic of that little pistol. I am considering the package and the overall size and the overall dimensions and everything and the things that they've changed about it. This is a very noticeable evolution in what Staccato is trying to do. And they did it in a year. I mean, in the last 2 years, when they were still STI to now where they're at Staccato, the way they have evolved is sort of impressive. This is it's a carry-sized gun, but it meets all of the characteristics of a fighting pistol, doesn't it? And one thing I want to do is I want to take this moment to thank Mark Trippy for allowing me to use his range yesterday. He's got stuff going on just like I do, and sometimes, you know, some people have more stuff going on than you do, and Mark was still kind enough to meet me and let me use his range yesterday, so thank you, sir. Now, what about this gun? There's going to be some of you, and I get this, you know, there's going to be some of you that are going to look at this and say, price, and that's your primary judgment on what you get for the money. And if all you see is the dollar signs, I get it. I understand. There's plenty of other guns that will work just as adequately. They're going to happen every time you pull the trigger on them. They have a record of dependability and reliability miles long. And if you have those guns, use them, carry, by all means. But if you're like me, see, my problem is I really like the single action trigger. I really like the single action trigger. And try as I might, I can't get past how good somebody, how good a single action trigger that's properly set up runs. And then if you take the single action, which is the best trigger in the world, right? I'm just thinking out loud, bear with me. And then you go and you say, I don't know, you make it a really reliable, dependable gun. That level where if you hit that bar, why wouldn't you carry it? And this is why a lot of LEO are starting to carry this gun. Maybe not this one per se. The Big Brother, Staccato P. That's what a lot of them are carrying. But I can see a lot of people carrying this one now. This one's out. I was very impressed with the little pistol, to say the least. Now then, let's do something I haven't ever done. Let's talk about some of the viewer comments, simply because I've had a few of you out there that I've been engaging, and I want to give you a homage and a thank you, and at the same time sort of discuss it. So, first up, talking about the video that I did about the Glock 17 versus the Poly 80 build. I stated in that video that the Poly 80 builds would not handle plus P loads. And I've been hammered over that one. Christian Haney, thank you for participating and for the comments, sir. I've shot plenty of plus Ps out of mine, and I carry mine. It runs fine. I shoot anything and everything out of my P80, so I don't know what you mean by no plus P. When Roger built my gun, when Roger Ward at Ace Firearms built my gun, he put a spring in it to where this gun would cycle faster. He knew what I was going to run, which was 147 grain subsonic. He knew that I was going to shoot it a lot. He knew that I was going to take it to tactical response. So he gave me a spring that's not really a competition spring, but it does cycle the gun faster. It is not the typical double spring that you would find in a Glock, because a regular Glock would handle just about anything. So when I said it wouldn't handle plus P, I was wrong. I misspoke. I misunderstood what Roger said. So it will handle plus P. I just don't have mine set up to handle plus P. I don't run plus P ammunition, and I don't intend to change it. So for those of you who think maybe I should put whatever I'm going to put in it just so it'll handle whatever, I have guns that will handle plus P if I feel the need to carry them. And for that gun, the way it shoots, I don't want to mess with it. But thank you, Christian Haney. Thanks. Thanks for looking out. Okay, then back. The next video, the comments on the about the micro runny, which I find to be a splendid little piece of kit. I was wrong about a couple of things. First of all, this is not made by CAA. This is made by a company called YRS Inc. out of Israel. I ordered it straight from them. I thought they were a distributor. They're actually the manufacturer. And one of the commenters, Gary Jewell, you were looking out for me, pal. You were looking out for my best interest. Thank you very much for doing that. You were under the impression that it is an NFA item, that I need a tax stamp for it. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm a radio guy. So what I did was I contacted Roger Ward of Ace Firearms, because he deals with NFA items all the time. And I contacted YRS Inc. YRS Inc. sent me a letter, which actually ships with it, which I already had it, explaining why it is not an NFA item. Then Roger Ward, we looked into it, and if it were an NFA item, what would happen is that the ATF would contact YRS Inc. and send them a cease and desist letter, in which case then YRS Inc. would contact me and let me know what I have to do in order to come into compliance. Now, with this particular item, of course, I just pull the gun out of it, and it's just a piece of plastic then. The reason they set this up, which I've seen some of these that have a button on the front where it holds the forward magazine on the angled foregrip. This one doesn't have that, so it doesn't really lock in. It'll go in, it'll stay, and it's not going to fall in. But if you were to actually be shooting with it and holding that as a grip, you're going to pull the magazine out of it. It's just going to pop loose. So I don't really understand what's going on with it, but suffice to say, it does not appear to be an NFA item, but I had a lot of people talking about, is this an NFA item? Do you need a tax stamp? All these other things. So for all of you that were looking out for me, I thank you. It's great to interact with everybody that watches the videos. I appreciate it. If you like this kind of content, and I hope you do, give me a thumbs up. Maybe think about subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell. The last video in the current setup of the Staccato Barrage is coming soon. Me? I am out of here.